Well, as you all know, we gathered here for a workshop or a special session, as we may call it, on emotional engineering by Rohit Vilokekar. It's got subtle references, I believe, from your book that we're also going to be talking about. And thank you very much to Ms. Kitu Gidwani for making it here. Thank you very much, ma'am. Rohit, I'm going to hand it over to you now. If you could sort of get the ball rolling on what is our main point of discussion today.
First, my aunt Mangala Maushi will introduce our guest.
Good evening, friends. It's my privilege to introduce Kitu Gidwani, who has been a student, also a dear friend. I've known her for several years. She really doesn't require an introduction. She has done several independent films with directors like Govind Nihalani. I mentioned some of her films: Earth with Deepa Mehta, Fashion with Madhur Bhandarkar, Ek Bura Aadmi, which is upcoming. This is Ishrak Shah's film. I must also say that she's a francophone, francophile, speaks excellent, impeccable French, and she has acted in a French film, Dance of the Wind, where she won the Best Actress Award at the Nantes Film Festival. She's been with the theatre world for 20 years with several groups and directors. She's done French theatre with the Alliance Française. I still have vivid memories of Marguerite Duras' Savannah Bay, which she did about 20 years back. And also play of Anouilh, which you did. Vous étiez si gentil quand vous étiez petit. And so she has been actively involved with French theatre. Her current play is August, Osage County with Villette.
Can I just give you this? I have to give
She's also been a TV personality and has done appeared in various serials like Zunoon, Swabhiman, Air Hostess, Kitu has a passion for theatre, for acting, for French, very talented, and also a passion for dancing, especially dancing the Argentine tango. Now she will introduce the book, and you're waiting to hear her in conversation with Rohit. So I'll pass over the camera.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, hello everyone. Actually, the first thing that attracted me to this book, and the reason that Rohit contacted me, was because he knows I love cats. I'm a big cat person. I have a cat and I look after cats and I do everything possible in the world for cats. I'm just a complete cat person. And all cat person people are slightly eccentric and slightly crazy and very loving and also very spiritual. And it kind of fitted in perfectly because the name of the book is Kitty Buddha. And I was really intrigued by the fact that who is this Kitty Buddha, because I think most cats are also Buddhas. I mean, like most creatures on this planet. So that was the entry point. And then when I started reading the book, it's obviously a far wider scope than just about a cat. And it's about all of us, basically. So I think, it kind of scores on all points for me. And very, very interesting read.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank Crossword for letting me have this event here. Very grateful to you all. And I want to thank Kitu, of course, for coming here, because it's not every day that you find people so generous and giving, And I don't even know Kitu at all, I just contacted her and asked her if she would come and help me do this workshop, and she said yes, So I'm really grateful to her for that. And so what we're going to do now is Kitu is going to read a few excerpts from my book, and then she's going to ask me questions. And the whole workshop is built around the premise that there are certain psychologies outlined in the book, certain philosophies that a cat, elaborates upon from time to time, in the course of her becoming the Kitty Buddha. So the book is essentially trying to say that all of us are Buddhas inherently, and we are born in a state where we're not really awakened, but it's not necessary that the perception of Kitty is correct or wrong. It's just that it's just the perception that she's arrived at, and that's what she wants to share with the world. So.
There are actually a lot of passages which are very interesting in the book, so it's really difficult to choose. And we're just going to read 3 or 4. They say, think happy thoughts. Well, no happy thought was working right now. I remember when I was young, Farooq was playing around with a kaleidoscope in his study. After he left, I fiddled around with it a bit. I believe there are chemicals in the brain that control our feelings. Yeah, serotonin, dopamine, not Doberman, whatever. Could the brain really be nothing more than a chemical kaleidoscope? A little push here and your chemical patterns are altered. Nothing you can do about it. Life's thrown you about this way. Hope it throws you around in a better way. But what I do remember is that there wasn't a single pattern I didn't admire. Every pattern had some intrinsic meaning, even if I didn't know what that meaning was. The same with life. There is beauty in each pattern, in each state of mind. Every state of mind at every given moment, be it in a leopard or in yours truly, is a remarkable masterpiece.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah. So. So allow me to elaborate on that. You know, I've gone through so many moments in my life when, you know, moments of happiness, moments of sadness, just like all of you would have, you know. And sometimes I've noticed that the moments of happiness are the only ones that I remember, and I always clamor back to those moments to give me some sort of consolation, you know. But when I see the moments of sadness, I also realize that those moments are equally beautiful because they help me become the person that I am today. And if you look at all art, you know, all art stems from some kind of sadness or the other. So what happens when you have sadness? You create the art and you call the art beautiful. But what happens to the sadness? You reject it. It becomes redundant. You cast it away. But what got the art in the first place? It was the sadness, you know. So unless you understand the beauty of even the most hollow and the most hurtful moments, you will never understand what life is about. Life is about appreciating every moment, and sometimes there are chemicals in the brain, you know, and you feel different at different times. You wake up in the morning and sometimes you're more fresh than others, but each given state is beautiful, just like a kaleidoscope. Like you know, when I was small, I used to look at the kaleidoscope and change the patterns, and I had no kind of prejudice towards different patterns. I thought all the patterns were equally beautiful, you know, and that is how you should look at all the patterns in your life, because every pattern is beautiful. So.
yeah, I agree. So of course, the Kitty Buddha, aka Rohit, wanders through life and has good experiences, bad experiences, heartbreaking experiences, earth-shattering experiences, sexual escapades.
Yeah, yeah, plenty.
You know, as a cat, all cats do. Actually, you know, cats have a better life than us. So, this is after one of the more heartbreaking episodes that the kitty goes through. The chapter is called Building Around the Hole.
Right.
And I think Rohit really wants to talk about that.
Yeah. No, not in that sort of way.
Yeah, well, the book also has a lot of sex in it, so you must buy it.
Thank you.
Every chapter has sex.
I'm glad you appreciate it.
You know,
Yeah.
it's quite a ride.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay, so this chapter is called Building Around the Hole. And just like that, my fairy tale had finally come to an end. My last vestige of hope had been cruelly snatched away. Here I was in front of a cat, who after all the pain in his life was searching for nothing. In short, a hole. And I was trying to build something around the very hole I found myself in so I could magically conjure up a donut. It's true the hole is nothing when you look at it. But without it, neither is the donut. When your life is empty, you don't run away from the hole. That's living in denial. Instead, you build something beautiful around it and let the character of the whole blend with that structure to create something meaningful. Well, it was obvious that I wasn't the donut Tommy had wanted. Even after he had dunked me. So much for Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, okay, so the whole fascination with the donut, I guess, began when I was in the 5th standard, and I was in the same school as this boy here. Hey, Mang, put your hand up. Okay, so, but he won't know who I'm talking about. You know, there was this guy in school, and I had come for my lunch, and I was standing with my tray, and I saw this guy in my 5th standard class staring at a donut. You know, he was holding the donut in front of his face, and he was just staring at it. So I asked him, you know, what are you doing? So he said, isn't it fascinating, the donut? It has a hole in it, and you know, and I didn't really give so much thought to it then, but I just thought that this guy must be really intelligent, you know, because this thought has got me thinking, you know, and I didn't know for what reason it got me thinking, but years later when I was writing this book, I didn't even know I was going to write about the donut, but perhaps I'd eaten a donut the previous day or something, and I thought about the donut, and I thought, why would the donut have a hole in it? You know, clearly if the hole were filled with maida, it would be more of the substance to eat, right? It would be more enjoyable, but it would also take away from its structure. You know, it wouldn't look the same, although the hole was nothing in essence, but it added to the structure. So the same thing with life. You know, when you go through depression or you go through intense pain in your life, what happens when if you deny it and you stay away from it? You don't have the courage to build something around it, you know, a structure around it and call it your own. Instead, you repel it and you go into denial and you create something else which is not really meaningful. So by accepting that you have pain, if you look at so many people around you, you know, you just see the person. You don't see the layers of pain inside that have structured them to be, even the confidence that comes from them, the way they behave and the way they are as human beings is shaped by experiences which are, you know, which have come from long ago. And all these peoples are actually walking donuts, you know. I like to think of them as walking donuts because they have built with their own strength something around their pain and given meaning to their lives, you know. And if you don't do that, you're not going to create a very solid structure. The donut may not seem a very solid structure because of the hole, but it is. So.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, it's nice to know that I'm a donut. This passage is from the chapter called Lego Engineering, as in Lego, the Lego toys. If you pick up the pieces of another person's life, what you're really doing is making the Lego structure of the human spirit stronger. You fail because you don't see the big picture. You're too busy working on your own building, not realizing that if the buildings around you collapse, you will be affected as well. It's all connected, really. If you spread love all around you, you will be loved right back. And it was in the middle of these thoughts that I came face to face with Tommy.
Yeah, this is also very fascinating because as a child I used to play with Lego all the time, and I was very drawn to you know, the whole building of Lego and making buildings, and I used to be very disappointed if my structure collapsed somewhere in the process of building it. So what I realized is if I was concentrating too much on one particular part of the structure, it was kind of weighing down on the other part and it was breaking it. So what was inherently happening was the other part was breaking, but my structure was weakened as well. The whole point is life is like the whole spiritual base is like a Lego board, and we're all connected inherently. Some are more connected to others than you know, like I may be more connected to you and you may be more connected to somebody else. But if you just work on your own structure and you tend to hoard and tend to accumulate and not care about others, you may weaken their structures, you may crush them, you may destroy them. But in the end, it will have ramifications on you as well. You know, it may not show, but the cracks will appear and you will fall as well in the end. You know, so by engineering the structure as a whole, you are actually making your own